This is an FOU Studios podcast.
I'm a New Yorker, and I belong to a little beach club and all that. The hot weather and a pool means cocktails. And I had a few yesterday.
Yeah. Big Brother Superfans, welcome to BB on the Slop. Chrissy here, that's Cookie Pant, and with my cohort and ride or die, Miss
Linda Tags. Hi, Chrissy.
Linda. We are giggly and we are so excited because in the studio, in person, we have BB season 18, Mr. Glenn Garcia. Say hi, Glenn.
Wow, what an intro. Thank you guys.
We are so excited.
We are so excited. I was saying, I don't know if I'm excited as like a podcast, creator and that sort of thing, to be like, yes, we have a former house guest on, or as a super fan being like, I'm in the same room as Glenn. I'm so excited.
Oh my God.
You were there.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Oh, we're so
Flattery will
happy.
get you everywhere. And I love this more because this even gets to more of the haters that are out there that always are, the Twitter trolls and all that.
Yeah.
Like, what are you even doing these things for? You were in there for 1 minute, blah, 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 and I'm like, they keep asking me, guys, so.
Yeah,
You were there.
You were there.
I'm like,
And we also wanted you because you are like an OG super fan.
Yeah.
You are a super fan. You're a super fan like we are. And that's why we want to talk to you because we want to hear your thoughts on this crazy season So going into this episode, just so everybody knows, heads up, spoilers.
Yeah, do not listen.
Do not
past
listen
this point.
if you want to know what's going on CBS on Sunday or the Wednesday show. Sunday show, I guess, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we warned you.
We warned you. There's your warning, right, Glenn? So what do you think of this season so far, Glenn?
It's starting out hot and heavy. It's starting out like old school. It's starting out like the way it was back in the day when people went in, the house got divided real quick, and which is pretty good. There's some people that are going too hot too fast, and you see the results of that.
Yeah.
I guess even like what happened with Swaggy since he's out. Mm-hmm. Even when Julie showed him his tape, everything he said he was gonna do,
he did the opposite.
he completely did opposite.
Complete opposite.
And you can't go in that hot and that strong because then you're an easy target, man. And people tell me, and they go, "Oh, Glenn, what do you know about it?" I said, first of all, I'm a super fan. And second of all, I was in the house, and none of you got to see my, live feeds because we weren't allowed. But I already had my game plan set. I already was doing everything.
You were laying the groundwork when you first walked in.
Yeah, when I first walked in, I had my little alliance already. I had everything set up. I was even cooking. I cooked the first meal of the house with everybody. Yeah. Everybody sat around. We ate, and I was like, I'm good. I was doing everything I had to do. Even Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
Anybody who super fan knows who Frank is.
Kill Frank.
We're laying down in the beds, just taking like in a breather, and he looked at me and he just started smiling, and I said, "What's the matter?" And he was like, "I know you, Glenn." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Listen, you're playing your game." And I was like, "I'm not playing a game. I just wanted to cook for everybody. I like to cook. I'm bored." He goes, "Listen to me. Nobody gets rid of the cook."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Sam is pretty safe. I guess Sam.
And I looked around to him and I smirked and I go, "What are you talking about?" Like he was like, "Don't play dumb." He goes, "You seen my season? We didn't get rid of Joe till way down the line because he was not because he was any good, because he was a great cook." And I was like,
there you go.
Just play dumb. I was like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. It's like last year, my favorite thing was last year. Do you remember when Kevin would do all the
towels?
laundry? He would do everybody's
yes.
laundry. It's like nobody wants to get rid of Kevin because he's doing all the laundry.
Yeah.
Sam's in that position right now, right?
Sam is, she's in a good spot.
She is.
I felt bad for her about the whole thing, but things come, things always work their way out.
They really
and
do.
if you're good, then that's what happens. You see?
Very likable. She's so likable too. Everyone loves her.
Everybody loves her.
Yeah.
Because she was even yesterday with, she had a great moment on the feeds yesterday with Scotty telling him, like, you be you, you do you. And he was like so worried about his nominations, like who he was going to do. And she said, enjoy your HOH. I know, because Scotty told Sam, I'm a super fan. And Scotty was sitting with Sam, and Sam simply said, and I'm getting chills thinking about it. She was like, you've been wanting this your whole life. You've been wanting this HOH your whole life. Enjoy your HOH. Have fun. Like basically telling him, live in this moment. When else are you ever going to live in this moment?
That's exactly, that's the way that's why I felt. That's the only little bitterness that I have and a little gripe that I have in my thing because I'm such a fan.
Yeah.
And if I would have just got voted out, I would have shook everybody's hand, and I would have said, "Cool, I'm done with it. Check that off on my bucket list and all that."
Yeah.
But I didn't even get voted out.
No, you weren't evicted.
I didn't get evicted, and I didn't get an exit walk. I didn't get a walkout. I didn't
get
say
it.
to be chewy. I didn't get nothing.
Nothing.
I
Well, we
know.
were talking about that, Linda and I. We were saying, we're like, if the actual competition, because I went back and I watched it last night again, I didn't remember how close.
Oh no,
it was with you
ridiculous.
and Corey.
Listen, it was. They didn't even know. We were on that island waiting for an answer for 45 minutes.
Are you serious?
45
Because they just
minutes.
show the clip like, here it is.
Like, here it is.
Yeah.
45 minutes. They kept saying, we have to look at the tape. We have to look at the tape.
See,
we
they
have to look
should've
at the
just-
tape. And then they were like, and everybody, since I was closer to the island where everybody was, like Paul was telling me, they were like, yo, you beat him. And I was like, yeah, like, like going back. They were like, yo, you did it. But apparently they said that one of my coconuts rolled. I did get pulled my flag. They admit that.
Yeah.
But they said one of my coconuts rolled. So
One of your
Give me a
coconuts
break.
was out. Yeah.
They should have just maybe put you two on the block. And
That's
just said,
right.
okay,
That's
vote.
what I said. That would have
Yeah.
been the most fair thing. The last two people that are on
Right.
are automatically on the block, and then you could use
vote.
it. Then I would have worked my magic. And
Then you
I
would
would've
have
started-
yeah.
You could
you
play
know,
the veto, done the whole thing.
And then I would have just, that was my whole. I'm thinking, oh, this would be perfect then.
Yeah.
And like, who wouldn't want at the time an old dude to keep here who's doing everything in the house, or keep this young stud who looks good, who's going to be great in comps, And if you're a player, boom, I want to get rid of the strongest guys first,
right, exactly. Get rid of the 6'5", like.
What made me laugh, like as soon as it was over,
Yeah.
like, and I did what I did. People were like, Glenn, we didn't even know you had that in you. They were like, we didn't even think, like when I was saying my goodbyes, like Paul, and they were like, damn, where'd that come from? And I was like, I was going to show none of that till later on. I was going to play that dumb old guy that didn't know that much, because everybody still didn't know my background. And I was law enforcement prior. And they just knew me as the the dog groomer. And they were like, dude, where'd that come from? And I was like, it was do or die. I had to do it. But I was going to throw comps left and right until we got out all the athletes out. And then I was like, boom, now
Then
I'm
you're
ready
like,
to rock.
now I'm in it.
Now we can do this.
No.
But
Who do you think, if you would have stayed in, who are you gunning for to be within an alliance with? Like, who were your...
well, I was already in. It was
you.
It was me, Paul,
Yeah.
Victor, Jose, Bronte, and
good team.
And Natalie was on the water. She was
Yeah.
there. But it was our first night. So like we were the first six that really clicked.
Yeah.
And Paul would have been good
and-
to go and
Yeah,
Victor.
you and
Paul-
Victor
God,
and
but-
Paul. Oh my
Yeah.
And
gosh.
Paul's my my boy. He's still my boy. We
Your
talk
boy.
all the
Your
time.
boy was... Yeah, your boy, yeah.
We talk all the time, and
Oh, nice.
we great, but we already had it like things set up. It was already planned. Like if I won, I was taking the HOH. We already had a game plan, and I was gunning. I was taking out the vets right away.
Yeah, you were going for them. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Oh
the
my
smartest move.
goodness.
That would have been, because she ended up winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't
Shove
vote.
her.
I couldn't vote
Nicole.
her. I couldn't vote
Nicole.
Nicole out. There was only two people. It was either Frank or Davon, because
Nicole was
Nicole was
your,
on my team.
was
Oh,
your
that's right.
team.
and
Yeah.
I couldn't get her out. And the Victor's team, Davon.
James.
No, James already had immunity because
Yeah.
they won the Rocket, so they were good for. So it was only one of those two. So I was going to put up. I was putting up both of them, and most likely I was going to go for Day because Frank already was talking to me a little bit more than
Right,
Day was.
right.
But it was so early. Listen,
Yeah.
everything changes as soon as you get in that
Everything.
house. Everything from minute to minute changes. So
Yeah.
my wheels in motion were going right, as soon as I walked in, and I just never got to fulfill and do what I
my
actually
goodness.
wanted, because that team twist was horrible.
That was awful.
Yeah, that was
Watching it
bad.
back
Yeah,
last
that was-
night, I was like,
Listen to me.
this is horrible.
And it was not even the fact. What bothered me is that I went on this show because it's an individual social game. Like I said, listen, I didn't join the Amazing Race.
Right.
I didn't want a
Right,
team.
yeah, right.
And then on the comp before we had to get to that one, the castle. I told them what was
I
wrong.
saw that.
Yeah.
I'm telling them this is wrong.
Yeah,
but
they weren't
Yeah.
the best teammates.
But,
I
but-
noticed that.
But in order to not
Right?
to stir the pot, I was like, okay, and I don't want to be too boisterous. You
Right.
can't get under people's skin. And I kept telling them, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And then finally, when we did it, we hit that buzzer, and it's wrong. And I was like,
I
you
told
wanted
you.
you wanted to be the
Right.
point that
Right.
I told you, and they were like, Corey was
So
like,
frustrating.
oh, Glenn was right, and by that time already they had so like everybody,
I know we love you, Corey.
and everybody was just like, if you would have just listened, and I was
Yeah.
like, but can't cry over spilt milk, like.
And it's one of those things where like twists are great and right, and they help in fun moments and they add things. Like I really actually am a big fan right now of this whole Power app. We're done with it now. Like we're at the end of it.
This is the last.
This is the last one.
Bailey got the.
Well, that I like. I like and I don't like.
Yeah.
I like the app, but I don't like. I like it. I'm glad it's over. Like there ain't that much.
Yeah.
But come on, you gave him a 2 month.
Yeah, Tyler's
that's
2 month safety.
That's too long.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Bailey got the Power App. Here's the first spoiler. Bailey got the Power App yesterday. She can use it up until the final 8.
See, that's guaranteeing too much.
Too much.
It's called identity theft.
It's identity theft.
Listen to this. So
what it is Bailey between now and the final 8 can use her Power App at any time, and it can be, I guess, piggybacked even on Tyler's. Where what she can do is whoever the HOH is at the nomination ceremony, they think that they're turning the key to show who their nominees are, and Bailey's nominees pop up.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
I mean,
and
it's cool, but
they don't know. So
They
what
don't
do
know.
they do? That's when they're told that. Okay.
Yeah, they said a power has been used,
and I think that
but the
head of
HOH has
household
to go along
right.
with the nominees.
They have to go along with it.
And then
So you literally don't have an HOH.
no, so Bailey knows that she's going up on the block. She just goes into, I guess, the diary room, sits down and says, "This is what I want to use.
Okay, cool.
I want to use my Power App." And twist the keys, done. And the good thing, I think, that it doesn't take like it's not like a full coup de grace, like a full takeover. She, if one of them pulls himself off at veto, the actual HOH gets to do the renom of the veto. But I think she's safe that week, though, that it's used. So good for
That'll
Bailey.
be interesting to see when she uses that, because
she came alive after Swaggy was out on Thursday night. Did you guys
See,
switch
but that's
over?
what you have to
Yeah.
do.
She came alive.
You know, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't met Jessica and Cody yet. I've heard from other alumni, guests that we do that.
Yeah.
They're great and all of that. But I felt that she played 10 times better when Cody wasn't there.
Yes.
And I used to
Yeah.
say, this girl
She used
could have
to-
went far if they
know.
would have kept Cody out, because she knows the game. She's a super fan. And I
Yeah.
was rooting for her all the way. But then
Right.
as soon as he came back in, she went right back to the old thing. And, who am I to say I'm not going to Monday more than quarterback, but
Right.
I thought she would have been really good. She probably could have went really far. But
I know.
Yeah, the week that he was gone, she
she was great.
did really
nobody
well.
put a single target on her back.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking, if they weren't together, right? You're again, like you just said, that's so good. Monday quarterback of it all. Like, if Jessica and Cody weren't together, I really think Paul and Cody would have played opposite ends of the house, and they would have teamed up, because I think there was like an alpha male respect between the two of them. And Cody was like the perfect anti-Paul, and Paul was the perfect anti-Cody. And I think they had that conversation at one point. They're like, "What if we do this? Like, what if we do this?" But
You'll never
Yeah,
know.
you'll
No, you
never
don't
know.
You'll never know. Unless you
know.
have him in this chair and he tells you anything different. But I
Right?
truthfully, from what I'm hearing, other people, he really doesn't like Paul. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no,
right.
he
That's
really
the
doesn't
kind of
like
vibe. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that? How was that watching back your boy last season?
it was great, and also it was crazy because I was with him 3-4 days before he went back into the house.
Really?
He came to New York.
No, God, that's
he came
awesome.
to New York to visit. I went and picked him up. We're hanging out. We went to the bar. We did some shots.
Yeah.
He came back to my neighborhood, my house. He met my daughter.
Oh, I love
We
it.
took pictures. I went to a local bar. We were doing shots.
Uh-huh.
People that I knew were fans. I went to their houses. I said, look who I'm with. And they took a great guy. And I took him to a Yankee game. He'd never been to a New York
Oh,
Yankee
my
game. And I said,
hope they won.
I said, yeah. And I said, you never been to a Yankee game? He's like, dude, it's something I've always wanted to do.
Oh, that's
and I
great.
was
Yeah.
like, let's go. I made a few phone calls, did what I had to
Yeah.
do. Sure enough, we're at the stadium. We're doing it. We're in the game. He's having a ball. We're just talking about the game and everything
Yeah.
like that. Never once did he mention he was going back into the house. He didn't mention
Really?
anything.
What?
And matter of fact, it was like that. It was a Friday or Saturday game, and Wednesday he went back in because it's the week. The move-in is the week before.
Is the weekend before?
And when we were at the season premiere in the city, when we have this, the show,
Yeah.
when he walked through and I looked up on TV, I was like, he didn't fucking,
That asshole.
he didn't tell me
but do
nothing.
you think he knew? He must
he
have
knew,
known.
he knew.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
knew. He was.
But let me tell you something. You sign stacks of paper this week.
Yeah, you're big.
There is so much
NBA,
confidentiality that you cannot say anything,
Wow.
and it would have just ruined him because they could have just X'd him
That's
out
it.
at the
It'd
last
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was safe for a while on that show.
I said when it first happened,
Yeah.
he's done. He's gone.
Right. He
Yeah,
was the
me too.
only
He's
one
gone.
from the
He's-
past, right?
He's
That was on-
gone. I said he's gone within a week or two. No way. Like what? Because listen, he's my friend. If I was on the show with him, I would have looked to take him out.
Yeah.
You can't. You got. You
Smart-
vets
smart
already
guy.
know.
Yeah.
This is why in my season I was telling everybody. I was telling Jose. I was telling people that didn't really know the game and didn't watch it. And I said like, The vets know what Slop's like. The vets know what have not taught. The vets know.
Yep.
I said they already have an upper hand. You have to get rid of them first. And everybody's like, yeah, we get. Even Paul, he wasn't too short. I was like, dude, we have to get rid of them, and then we can just play with all the newbies. We'll start from scratch there. And they were all like, yeah. We all had a pinky promise. Everything was good. And then I was pretty much the one who set the stone of them all trying to get rid of the vets.
Yeah.
Because I said, and look, perfect example, when he was a vet, they didn't get rid of him, and he went all the way to the end.
He went all the way to the end.
Well, Cody won.
And in the end, Linda and at least I think he was completely robbed both finales. But I will say the twist and the shock on Paul's face when Josh in that finale was like, I'm a super fan. I've been watching this show. And then they played back all of his goodbye messages and how much Josh was like telling everybody.
Josh was great.
Josh was great.
Josh was great.
Even
when the first time I met Josh and we hung out and we talked and all that, and I was like, I'm straight up. I'll tell you, and he says, dude, I know that was your boy. He goes, I knew you were rooting for him. I said, yeah, I was. I said, but you know what? I got to give you kudos because you played. That was excellent. That jury management was excellent.
Yeah, that's
I said, and he was like, Glenn, I know the game. I watch it and all of that. And I said, you know what? You deserved it because you did what you had to do at the end. He hopefully a lot of people, it opens their eyes that also you could play because Paul played a great game.
Yeah.
And
really
right
did.
now, Tyler's playing Paul 2.0.
Right.
Yes,
we were
saying
saying
that. I was like, he's playing the game Paul probably should have been playing.
And he's playing it 2.0 and he's doing good, but you got to do it to a certain point that it doesn't. Finally, you start telling her, listen, did he tell you? And that's when it could blow up in his face.
Right.
We should lay back now, right? Don't you think?
He might be playing a little cocky like that because he has that cushion, that
That's
cloud.
a good point.
He does. That nobody knows about.
Yeah.
He's already, as soon as we went about, I was saying to Linda last week, as soon as we went about 5 hours without knowing who got the Power app, it was totally apparent. It was clear as day that Tyler got it because he wasn't telling anybody. And I was sitting there waiting to find out who he was going to tell to confirm that he had the Power app before the Sunday episode, because then it would finally give us an insight as to who Tyler trusts the most in the house. And he told no one.
No.
Which means
He doesn't
trust anybody. Which will
he's playing his game. That's how he's playing.
Right?
He's just, he's not, doesn't trust anyone enough yet.
Exactly. He doesn't trust. Right.
He's playing a good game.
Yeah.
He is.
He's playing a good game, and he's likable.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
He looks like Frank the
He
Tank.
does
Yeah,
look like
yeah.
A
Frank.
younger Frank the Tank.
It's like
right?
if Hayden and Frank had a baby, it would be Tyler. It's so good. What do we think about Scotty's flip vote?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a straight up guy and all of that. I would have respected it more if he would have told Swai,
Yeah.
I'm voting for you because I have to, because we wouldn't have the numbers and I don't ruin my game. I think he would have got a lot more respect. But to wear his shirt, let him think you're voting for him, and then flip it, I wasn't too crazy about it. If it's his game, it's his game. I can't, I can't tell somebody else how to play their game. But like later on, you get to see them all again. You get to get some people.
That's a good point.
Some people still really hold grudges. When you can see these events, like last season for the Big Brother premiere party that we had, when 20 was going, the BB18 cast.
Yes.
Half of them came, the other half didn't. The house was, because that house was
That
divided.
house was split, yeah.
And half of them came because they didn't like the other half. They really didn't like each other. So the people who came first, the other side didn't come. And this year, the other side came and the other side didn't come. So some people really do hold grudges. And
I think Swaggy will. I think he
think
totally
so.
will.
he's totally upset. He's really mad. But he's after he sits back and he gets it sink it in, he's going to realize that he came in too hard, too quick. And you can't. Listen, you can't do that.
You can't. The thing is he did, and he didn't even realize that he was as much of playing the alpha male that he didn't realize.
Yeah,
he didn't
Because
even
that's
know.
really him.
That's his
him.
personality.
Because when he was by himself in the room, when he didn't get the app, you see how mad and how he was talking.
Yeah.
So that's really him.
That's who he is
You know
on
what I
the
mean?
inside. Yeah.
But that's what probably got him on the show because he is. That's what they like. Someone who's opinionated. Someone who's going to speak their mind.
Yeah.
So he wasn't doing it. He wasn't looking at the camera like a lot of these other people do and talk to it and all of that.
Yeah.
So that's really him. So he was a strong. He could have went pretty far.
I think
Yeah.
he
If he would
I
have
thought
laid
so,
a little bit low and but you it's crazy because when you're in that house, you don't realize it is dead silent. Like if people are talking, it is so like it's hard to explain. Like there's no clocks and there's nothing to read and like it'll get to you. And if somebody's going to be chirping all the time and saying something, you know how somebody you could be somewhere and if they sneeze a lot or if they do something that irks you and bothers you, sooner or later you're going to snap and be like, and that was my biggest worry, because I was going to be like telling people like, shut the, or stop doing this because, so, he could have been chirping and then talking in the third party. Talking like he was a third person.
Yeah, I know that kind of annoys me.
That could be annoying. That fourth day. Listen, well, Glenn, what did they do? I would have been like, dude, like,
you gotta cut that out. Yeah.
So like, what you see on TV is not all of what it is. Just like everybody calls me and asks me about Steve.
Yeah.
And because he was law enforcement and all that. Mm-hmm. I said, I can't tell you how his game was. It's not all about because we were older that he was out.
Right.
Truthfully, when I started seeing a lot of the tape from the live feeds and all of that they started showing. Yeah. To me, and it's only my opinion, I don't know, it seemed like he isolated himself to only a few people.
Right.
Yes.
That's what it looked like. It was Scotty.
And you can't do that. You got to be friendly with everyone.
You got to be that social butterfly.
See, and then he was in the yard a lot if they showed smoking all the time.
Yep.
Now, you do that. If you're a non-smoker and I smoke, you're not going to come near me all the time.
Right.
And some people who don't like smokers hate the smell of smoke. Even though you're not
I
smoking in front of me,
that.
the smell it's on you.
Right.
Some people, they despise it. So I'm thinking... One, he shouldn't have done that. Even though if he's a smoker, he's a smoker. You got another. But little things like that, when you're in this house, can irk somebody. Somebody could say, "I don't need this guy." He could have got voted out just because he smokes. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
I think it's one of those things like he was the snorer. Everybody knew he was a snorer. And even if it wasn't like they weren't saying it, but it was like, we got to get Steve out of here. I haven't had a good night's sleep in 3 days. Like,
you don't know. So like, I don't know
what's going on with that.
I don't know. Like everybody right away, they were asking me, first of all, I never knew him. Just for on the record, everybody's asking me if I never met him before. I didn't know him.
He's from upstate, right? Or Yonkers?
No, he's from Jersey.
Oh, Jersey.
But
he teaches
but he said,
Westchester.
he teaches in Westchester, but he was a cop in the city. In there, but I never knew him. The department's so big. Right away, they think we worked.
So now I have to ask.
Oh yeah.
I think we're gonna ask the same question. Do you know Derek? Have you met Derek?
No. I talked to him on other podcasts.
Of course.
One day we were on Michelle's show, and he called in. He called in. He was like, "Yeah," and I was like, and he wanted, we talked and all that. He seems like a great guy. I'm glad he's doing really well for himself.
Yeah, he's doing.
And
good.
I would love to. I told him if we ever get the opportunity, he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
So, if he ever does any one of these kind of charity events or one of these parties, hopefully he's there. I would love to hang out with him. Talk with him. The thing is. Me, like another thing that bothers me, a lot of people invite me to these things. Anything that's a charity,
right?
If I could use my 15 minutes of fame, I'm gonna do it.
That's
we can raise money.
Yeah.
There's one in Ohio it's reality for diabetes. I'm there automatically all the time. My daughter is a type 1 diabetic. Oh, okay. So when people go, Glenn, why do you always, are you starving for, right away they go, you're starving for fame, you're starving. I said, buddy, if you know who I am, you know what I'm about. I'm like, my daughter is a type 1 diabetic. If I could go there and Big Brother fans are going to donate to the cause, to the JDRF, I'm going to do it. It's just so stupid. When it comes to kids, elderly, and all of that, I'm a sucker. Yeah. So I'll be there for whatever, and I do whatever I can.
I'll always be there. I'm going to make it happen. That's fantastic.
And if you invite me, and if it's a charity, I'm going to go.
You're going to do it.
I'm going to do it. It's not because I'm looking to become anything. I'm not looking to do anything. And I tell people that all the time. But right away, everybody's, you're just looking for fame. I said, dude, that's the last thing. That's the last thing that I'm looking for. Because when you go through the process, and one time they had asked me, all right, so Glenn, why are you really doing Big Brother? And what would you do with the money? And I came straight out. I said, I'll get out of debt.
Yeah.
And they were like, get out of debt. And I was like, yeah, pay off my bills.
Right?
And somebody came up to me and said, dude, that's off the record. That's like the most real and honest answer we've gotten. Some people to further their modeling career. Some people to become an actor.
That's why
that's why people hate these people because they're not really on the game to win the game. They're on the game to get the exposure and do everything else. Mm-hmm. I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like I didn't care what they, what if they see you pick your nose? Well, I pick my nose in real life too. So like
people see me in real life pick my nose.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna worry.
Right.
I don't care. Like that's the problem. I don't care.
Right.
Like so if I do this wrong, I do that wrong. I don't care. So I
Yeah.
tell people that. Oh, what if you fought? Hey, if it slips out, I'll be like, hey,
It's gonna happen.
I'll be like, hey, there goes a mouse on a Harley, and they used to be like, and they were like, and they would laugh, and I'm like, I'm gonna be me. You're always gonna get
It's just
me.
gonna, you're
that's
gonna
what
get
I am.
me. That's so great.
That's awesome.
That's
know?
why it's one of those things of those are the people that you do naturally then end up rooting for
Yes.
as a super fan. Like, I think that's why Sam has won America over. Like, Sam is so herself.
Yes.
She's just living her best life in there the best she can. The poor thing was a robot. But she was like, even as a robot,
Yeah.
she was talking to people. Did you see? That was one of my favorite moments so far from this season of her in the kitchen as the robot and telling I forget who
Tyler.
it was
It was
Tyler,
Tyler, yeah.
like how to cook something. Like no, it's because you use egg
I'm
beaters.
curious on where she was when they were
I know.
doing that.
Right.
Like, where was like that? You know,
because
that
you
was
know
something.
that whole backstage
and you can't go anywhere. Like you are really always when you're sequestered.
Enclosed
So I'm
and-
pretty sure she was sequestered, but she had to be in the proximity because it had to be like a closed circuit TV
camera
or
or
something.
Right, something.
So I'm just curious because I was in the house that like wonder where the hell she was.
Am I allowed to ask you that? Like, so you're in the backyard, the main house, and then the diary room, and that's it.
In the storage room.
And the storage room. Do
Okay.
you ever go through the back of the storage room? Is that no?
That's how that door that is there.
Yeah.
That's how they come and restock you.
That's how they
But that's
restock
done
and-
when you're not there. You don't see anybody.
That is so
Never
You
any-
never see anybody.
Besides, like,
Like you don't see a
Never.
camera
Never.
guy behind
Or you
somewhere.
no, never. Never.
So cool.
You don't see you don't see anything and you just hear
You're in a bubble?
Like I remember the first night, well my only night. I woke up really early because I was still my body was still on New York time.
Yeah, right.
So I would be up at 5 in the morning.
Oh, that makes sense why Steve was up early. Anyway, go ahead.
And that's why because you're still your body's still on sequestered
Yeah.
time. And I got up the first night, slept, and I got up and I walked to the kitchen. Now everybody's out cold.
Yeah.
And I'm up, so I don't I don't want to wake nobody up. And I'm walking to the kitchen to go make a cup of coffee.
yeah.
And I hit like, and you see the cameras like all of a sudden like they must be like, oh, he's up. You know, like,
Oh, wake up, guys! He's up.
and all of a sudden you actually hear zzz, 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 all the cameras in on me,
So
and I'm looking around and I'm like, wow, that's like crazy,
creepy.
right?
Crazy.
And it's like, and look, but none of these things, ever, made because it was the live feeds weren't on yet, and then I'd be like going back in, and you could never. There's nobody you could talk to in the diary room. You'll talk to, or you hear a voices.
Yeah.
So
you only hear voices in the diary.
You don't.
room.
Yeah, you don't see nobody.
You don't see-
I didn't even
Wow.
know. I didn't even know that I was in the diary room until the day that they called it Media Day,
Okay.
where we got to meet, and Access Hollywood, Entertainment Tonight,
Right.
all of those.
Did you meet
kind of
Ica?
things. No, that was the year after.
That was the year after.
The year after. And I, truthfully, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if you're on the show or not.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know if you're on the show.
Wow.
And that's like one of the people tell me now, Glenn, you look great, but why didn't you get? I said, I never thought I was going to get picked. I really
Wow,
didn't think I was going to
yeah.
be on the show. So I didn't put in all this effort. I was still in the gym, and the TV does make you a lot heavier because I looked like a fat slob in this show. I was like, wow, it wasn't that bad. I said, anything
God.
that a balance thing, I would have done great because I was strong as an ox.
Yeah.
But come on, balance thing. I
Come
was
on,
like,
balancing. Poor Steve. If I
know.
could just get my balance.
It was like, give me something with strength. Give me
Right?
something like that.
Or
You're
like a
gonna give me-
memory thing. I'm sure
The
you were
memory-
like,
yeah.
oh, give me a memory game. Like,
But I never
puzzle. You
knew.
were
I
great at the
never knew
puzzle.
I was going to be on the show. So
It's
like,
wild.
so that day, it's considered media day. That's when
Yeah.
they tell the whole world who the cast is. That's what, like today the cast got
Right.
revealed. So that's considered media day, and you're blindfolded through everything. You don't know
Oh
where
my
you are.
God.
You can't go through nothing.
oh my goodness.
And my first room was the Jeff room. It was the
Okay.
Jeff
Oh
show.
yeah, with Jeff. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you see that interview with me and Jeff, that is literally the minute I realized I'm on the show. So everybody goes, Glenn, you look so happy and all that. I said, because everybody goes, Glenn, you were so, I said, that's when I realized I was on the show.
You're like one of the
Because-
16 house guests. Here
'Cause
I am.
I'm blindfolded. They take the blindfold off and I look and I see Jeff right there. Now half the cast didn't even know who Jeff was.
But you lost your
And
mind.
I
You're like,
went
"Jeff!"
and I looked at him and went, and this was on the camera and all, and he goes, I go, Jeff. And he goes, what's up, buddy? And I was like, and I looked around and he go, and I'm looking around. I'm like, dude, what? Like right away, because I know he was
Yeah.
the next biggest thing to Julie.
Yeah.
You know, like if you knew Jeff, you know that.
Yeah.
And I was like, are we? And he goes, that's right. Yeah. I go, this is not. He goes, this is the diary room. I go, this is the diary room. I was bugging out. I was like so
Wow.
excited. I was like, this is so cool. I always thought it was a lot smaller. You know,
It does look like a small room.
It does look like a really tiny
and I was
room.
like, are you kidding me? And he was like that. And he was such a great guy. He is such a great guy. And like one thing I can say, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get in trouble for this and all that, but this was off the record.
Yeah.
He gave me a handshake and a pound.
Yeah.
And he said, before anything goes on, before the camera's on, I just want to welcome you to the family. He said, he goes, because believe it or not,
Yeah. We're a family.
you're part of the Big Brother alumni. And he goes, and just give it your all. Like he gave me like a little, a little powwow.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that.
That's so
never forget it because he
sweet.
was such a cool dude. Like, because some of these reality people really think that they're
Yeah. they
movie
think-
stars, and
yeah.
they think that. And he was such a real guy and all that. And I appreciated that. And I've always told people that. And I said, you know what? He was a great guy. But that was the most exciting part of the day. The rest of the day, I was floating on a cloud because I was like,
amazing.
I'm in this house. I'm in because they never tell you.
They never tell you that
They
this is
never
what's
tell you
happening.
that you're on. They never tell you get. I know I made it to the top, 50 or whatever.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you. That's why the whole thing with
crazy.
the
key.
the key. They don't tell you if you got it. They say that they do that for a lot of people.
For like
and-
36 people
Yeah,
have a key.
And then they go if you're picked, then they'll use it. If they're not, then it'll never
Yeah.
be. So you never know. And you're sworn to secrecy, and you just don't know.
And then you spend that time in sequester,
Wow.
which I could only. His eyes just got. Glenn's eyes. I said
I
sequester,
could tell
and
you
his eyes
how
got
many
huge.
tiles were in the bathroom. I could tell you how many times the smoker alarm blinked per
my
minute.
God.
I could tell you almost
Holy
every
shit.
grain in a rug.
Lord.
You literally are 7 days locked in your room,
In a hotel room.
and that's it.
That's it.
And another thing, you don't speak to nobody. You don't see. You make phone calls. You know,
Yeah.
if you need something, the door knocks. You open it, it's right there. Like
The food's at the. At,
yeah, you don't. Yeah, it's
Wild.
My goodness. And the ones that are recruits, they send them season 16 to watch. No, I don't know that. That's me saying that.
No,
That's not.
That's what I've been told. Too.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you haven't watched the show.
They give you. Yeah,
Jeez.
that's what I
Yeah.
was told.
That's what. Yeah, that's what you
Wow.
get. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
But it's crazy, and
Yeah.
you just sit there. You don't even to read. The only thing I did do was listen. I'm not a kid, so like I learned for things to do.
Yeah.
And all that. What I did was on my way when I got kidnapped. I stopped and I bought Daily News, Times. I bought every newspaper I could.
So smart.
Right, so I brought like 5 of them when I could at the airport, and when I brought them in, because you can't have no newspaper, you can't read nothing,
Right.
you can't be locked away. I was in there, so every day I would read a different newspaper, even though it was the same thing,
The same news.
but you could catch different
Right.
parts of a story. You
Yeah.
could catch,
Yeah.
And I remember one day when they came in, as it was getting closer, the producers came in. They were like, "How'd you get that newspaper?" And I was like, "I'm like, look at the date." I'm like, "Look at the
guys.
date,"
Same
and they were
thing.
like. Oh, okay. I was like, it was all, past, information, but they really, it's no joke. They take it really serious.
Yeah,
Do.
well,
Of
and they
course.
take
The fans
yeah.
take it
This is
very
fans. We take it because you don't want any interaction with them beforehand. But are we getting?
yes.
Are we ready
Yeah.
to wrap it up? Oh my goodness, Glenn, we
This
could
is
talk to you.
awesome.
Can we go another 2 hours? I can't. So quickly to hit on some of the spoilers coming up. The nominations happened. Scotty nominated the
Winston.
Bros.
The Bros. I love
And
that. I
Brett.
love that move.
That's
I
a great
love that
move.
I love that
and
move.
basically Scotty said, "I don't care which one goes. Pick
Yeah.
one."
Because you know what it is? You got to get rid of a power guy.
Yeah.
They're both athletes. Why wouldn't you do that? And if he acts like himself like the nerd and he's not,
Yep.
listen,
You got to get
you
rid
got
of
to
him.
get rid of him.
And also, and he said last night, you're a duo. Like,
Right.
just as much as Swaggy and Bailey were a showmance, any showmance, a
Bromance is the same. Yeah.
Got to get rid of one of them.
Smart.
And I think if one of them does win the veto, he'll just throw either Angela or Rachel up. Pick a straw, girls. One of you's going
Smart.
out.
I love it.
Whoever
Okay.
goes. It's so smart. And he doesn't care. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
That's he's playing the game. I love this season. They
It's
are
a great
playing
season.
So
this
far.
game.
I
Yeah.
just hope they don't get
Yeah.
a lot of big personalities out too quick because the other people either
Yeah.
they're not getting a lot of airtime or they're just really boring. And
Right.
who wants to see a girl just combing her hair and put makeup on all the time?
Right. The
and all that?
mascara,
Like,
the eyeliner. It's like
so
too
hopefully
much.
they do have personalities that come out
Yeah.
later on.
Rockstar's in there. She's
I'm
got one.
so excited.
It's
She's
way.
She's
it's
been
way-
reading the
I didn't like
Bible.
her in the beginning. I didn't like her, and as it's been going on, I'm like,
Yeah,
she's pretty
I'm
real.
starting to like
You're
her.
like, that's our girl. That's our girl. She's reading the Bible. This is what we're gonna find out later, coming down the road. She keeps like.
That's the only thing in the house you
It's
can
the only
read.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's actually reading the Quran as well.
Oh.
Fessy has the So she's been reading through all of them, and she's been going to people and being like, "So
It's
I
like
just
giving her-
finished Genesis, and this happened."
Giving her
Fessy, I
her
like
take.
I like
I
Fessy.
love
Oh, he's
Fessy.
great.
I like Fessy. Right now, he's my leader of who
Oh,
I'm rooting
good.
for.
Oh, that's what we were
that's
gonna
what we're gonna
ask
ask
you.
you.
Yeah.
Who are you rooting for?
Him. I like Tyler. I like this game. He's going to be a little bit much. Him and Fessy right now are my two leading of the
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
And of the girls, I like. She's not getting a lot of airplay. The football. I'm not good with names.
Oh,
Casey.
Casey. I
She's
think
sleeper.
very
She's a
down
sleeper.
She's
low.
going to be a sleeper. She's
Yeah.
going to be good. And I like Sam.
Sam. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
Sam is
Sam.
great
Those
too.
are yeah.
But you got to remember that those are the only personalities that they're really keen on right now.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
Right.
Because what you see and what's really actually going on, unless you're a live feeder,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what you're going to see because things could change real quick.
Yeah.
And you could just see if somebody gets irked the wrong
That's
way.
what's so awesome about this game. It changes so quickly from like
So
day to
quickly.
day.
Just
You
think
never
about
know.
it. If you guys were all locked up in this room right now by yourselves, soon you want to choke her. He's going to want to kick you in the head. And, that's the way it is because
That's the way it.
you need that space. You need to get away.
You need to
right.
get that space away. Yeah. No, you're so right.
And when I was in, even though it was a short time, we had no yard because they kept
my
building. I did
goodness.
4 comps in a row.
right.
That was crazy
And,
too.
and what happens is they literally lock you in, and that door that goes out to the yard, a gate comes down and it just locks you. Like boom. So now you're just
goodness.
stuck. Yeah.
Now
right
you're
here.
just stuck in the house,
And-
and it's dark. Like
You don't
my
know
goodness.
what. That used to freak me out too. That was
Yeah.
another thing that freaked me.
That's
Not
what-
knowing what time it was. I used to be like, what
know.
time is
What
it?
time is
What
it?
time is it? Like,
Yeah.
because your body, and I'm on East Coast time already.
Yeah.
So my body's already telling me when to
Right.
get tired. But if the windows are all blacked out, you don't know what
Yeah.
the hell's going on. So then I found it I found the clock in the coffee maker.
oh, that's
Oh.
so
And
sick.
there's a time on it, and we
Yeah.
were like, God, I was like, and believe it or not, I don't know why. It was a pet peeve
Yeah.
of me. I wanted to know what time it was all
Yeah.
the time.
So good. I know,
great.
Celebrity, they had like that little strip of the backyard the whole time, remember? Because the backyard was just
yes.
constantly being turned over for the competition, for the comps.
The little fireplace.
And they had
or
that little
something. Yeah,
fire
yeah.
pit and a little hot tub. So
Yeah.
they had that. And I'm like, gosh.
Celebrity Big Brother was great too.
I love
that.
I love
thought that was
Celebrity.
fun.
It was good. The only other thing that I hope and I wish that people that are on the jury,
Yeah.
they give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
I don't like a bitter jury.
I hate bitter
I
jury.
like
No.
Last year was
somebody
bitter.
because it wasn't like that until like 16, like or 17. Everybody always said, you know what? You did this to me, you did this to me, but you got me out.
That's it.
So I got to
Yeah.
give you the
I have
respect.
to give you the respect for it.
You
Yep.
you played a better game, and that's the way it should be. I don't like,
Yeah.
oh, you got me out, I'm never voting for you.
Yeah.
Like even though it's part of the game, you never know what's. I like to give because I'm a super fan, respect to a person. If you
Yeah,
got me
exactly.
out, kudos to you.
Yep.
You played a better game than
That's
me.
how I would have to look at it.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. Like,
You can't take it personal. If I lied to you, listen, I was lying to everybody. I was gonna lie. Be people all telling me all the time, Glenn, we loved you. I said, you only saw 27 hours of me.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
all you saw.
I said, I guarantee you, if I would have stayed longer, people were gonna hate me. I said because I was gonna do whatever it took to win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, if I'm gonna have to lie, if I'm gonna
Yeah,
be all of that.
You're gonna be
and I
con-
didn't
yeah.
care. I told my wife, I told my personal friends, I might not do some things that you're gonna like and all that, but I'm winning this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, so just be ready and all of that. And I never got to do it, but but so I left on a high note. Everybody loves me, love me,
Yeah,
love me.
yeah.
And
That's
I'm like,
great.
okay, that's cool, but guarantee you people would have hated me. They would have
oh,
been like,
no, I don't think so. I
or
don't
they
think
would
so.
have, hopefully they would have given me the respect and
They
said, no,
would
he's
have.
playing the game.
He's playing the
Yeah.
game. I love it.
Oh,
I think that's
Glenn.
the end of it,
Yeah,
Glenn.
we are
oh,
so
Glenn.
happy you
I
came.
am
We're
so-
so glad you were here.
I am so
Shed
honored.
some light and
Thank you for
all
bringing me.
of us.
Maybe near the end of the season, if you want to come back.
Definitely.
We're right here in
Yes, so
Astoria. This is, once again, BB on the Slop. Chrissy Cookie Pant here. Follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, all of the things.
And Twitter is at Big Brother OTS.
Yeah, Big Brother OTS, Big Brother on the Slop. This is Chrissy Cookie Pants signing off.
And Linda Tex.
Linda Tex and our wonderful, wonderful guests.
Thank you so much for having me. It was
Thank
a
you,
great
Glenn.
time here. Thank you.
So happy
Thanks,
to have
Glenn.
you. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Into our Astoria studio.
This is a class act here. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Glenn.
BB on the Slop was recorded live at Face Off Unlimited headquarters in Astoria, Queens, and was hosted by Chrissy Kaler and Linda Tex. It was edited and produced by Chrissy Kaler. The social media engineer is Linda Tex. The logo was designed by Jason Michael Miller. Executive producers are Joe Tex, Jay Painter, and Eric Robinson. FOU Studios is a property of Face Off Unlimited, LLC. I'm Peter Hargarden, the senior producer of podcasts here, and on behalf of everyone who worked on the show, we'd like to thank you, the listener, for tuning in. Subscribe to catch all of our other podcasts here on the FOU Studios Podcast Network. To follow all of the Big Brother updates, follow them at Big Brother OTS on Twitter. To learn more about FOU, connect with us via social media at FOU Studios and visit us at FOUstudios.com.